gals and boys, I'm just from Tuckahoe. I'm going to sing a little song. My name's Jim Crow. Wheel about and turn about and do just so. Every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow. I went down to the river.
In 1836, Jim Crow is born. He begins his strange career as a malicious minstrel caricature of a black man, created by a white man to amuse white audiences. Jim Crow would come to symbolize one of the most tragic eras of race relations in American history, a time deeply rooted in promise and contradiction. 1865, 4 million Americans, slaves simply because they were born black, were now free. But in little over a decade, that promise was gone, replaced by a rigid system of laws designed to keep blacks from experiencing any of their newly achieved rights. It would be known as the era of Jim Crow, the American form of racial apartheid.
I tried to lean inside and get me a cup of water.
Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from a professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV, you know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood. We the hood people, you know? Representation of black people, period, on the bench, because we don't know who Clarence Thomas is representing. He's sitting on a Supreme Court, sitting on a bench, smelling like cocoa butter.
2, 3, 4, 5. We live. Welcome to Hoodviewpolitics, where we go into a deep, detailed dive into politics from a hood point of view. I'm Rabbit Jones.
And I'm Tony, the #1 soul brother. And welcome to a Thursday night edition of the Hoodview Daily News. Come on in and have a seat. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, and then lay back and see what's what. We have to learn you something.
Now, if you're new here, you don't know what to expect. But if you've been here before, you know what's going on here. We chasing maggots and coons. Maggots and coons. Let's not forget about those Puerto Ricans and those white ladies too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Let's not forget about those. Welcome to everybody worldwide that took the time out to even listen to these motherfuckers for 10 seconds. We appreciate y'all a whole lot. Like, subscribe, share it to your friends. Tell them there's two ghetto motherfuckers talking politics. That's all to it. You know what I'm saying? What's been going on with you?
Oh, ain't shit. Just chilling. Oh, shit.
What? Cool. Bro. The only thing, right? Oh, we good. Oh, hell no. But the only thing, right? Have you ever seen, like, when you driving across the street or walk across the street or some shit, it's a motherfucker, Mexican or Spanish motherfucker standing there selling flowers or some shit?
They do it at the subway station. They be there, they got balloons, flowers, they selling every motherfucking thing. Shit, truck to random off the farm, they gotta make some money some kind of way.
But yeah, my problem is, I seen a motherfucker right there. Like, I don't have no problem with motherfuckers saying, like, fuck it, give money for that shit and shit like that. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I give money to little youngers that try to pump gas or some shit. Sometimes I don't even let them pump the gas and I give them the money. You know what I'm saying?
That all the time.
But that's different from just standing in the middle of the highway with a flower. Or just stand in the middle of the highway with a sign saying "feed me" or some shit. It's like that's different. I don't know. Is that different? I don't know, because when I was 13, right, the first job I ever had, that's how I knew I was gonna be an entrepreneur and shit. Opened up a motherfucking juice stand in the alleyway. It wasn't an alley. This is in Maryland. This is when I moved to Maryland when I was 14. My first year there, this first summer. And Landover is a motherfucking like grass motherfucking paths, right? Instead of like alleys. So it's grass paths that goes in between the apartments. And I set up right in between those joints where it goes through everybody's apartments and shit. Me and my man, we went and got my father gave us $20. This is when IGA had motherfucking these little hug juices.
Yep.
And you can get a whole rack of those motherfuckers. Man, we sat on the motherfucking side and sold those hug juices, bro, all week. And Friday, we went to the motherfucking movies and got us some shoes. That's my first taste of, God damn it, I like to do it like this. You know what I'm saying? But nobody telling me nothing, you know? But when I see motherfuckers out that joint just with a sign or something, it's like, that's different. I don't know. I don't know.
It's different from what it used to be. That's all it takes, man. Shit, they just put a sign out say, "Well, we gotta feed these kids. I'm homeless, I'm this, I'm that, or whatever. Can I wash the windows or whatever?" And they'll rack up a whole bunch of change like that.
I don't know, man. I don't like the fact that when I seen that motherfucker, the lady and the little baby was sitting on a curb, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Hey, hey, why? And it's like, hold on, man. Is this a job y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Or are you really need help? You feel me? And what blew me was the father. There you go.
Oh, I ain't had the motherfucker on.
I was wondering what was going on here.
There we go. Had to bring my Q2U out.
The father was smoking a J.
That's what they do. You might see anything. Motherfucker got mad liquor. They got mad Modelo's. They be having weed. They be having all that shit. That's their job.
No, what I'm saying is,
that's their hustle.
If you got your family out there and y'all begging, saying, hey, give us money and shit, but you on the side smoking a J with two kids right there, right in front of these two kids. Like, what is that?
That's what they do. Yep. Man, it's I didn't say it is what it is. I be seeing them, I be seeing them like that, and I don't give you shit.
It's almost like a hustle mixed into a begging situation. It's like it's mixed up where you can't even look at it as you working for it or not. It's just like you. What is this though?
But that's they hustle though. That's they shit. Go down by motherfucking Central Avenue by Home Depot. They be out shit. They be black ones out there, white ones out there. I think it's over by that's where the little white man with the nappy beard, the real long nappy beard be at. And all of them got a sign. They got the white kids sitting over there, man. I need some money for these kids. I spent all my money buying this bag of weed so I can get high. And they just think people stupid. That's part of it. They just think a motherfucker dumb.
That shit don't even make sense, bro. At some point, standing out that joint for 8 hours begging for some money, you could literally been working, bro.
True.
And probably made more. Like, I just don't get the thought process of that dumb ass shit. They had your whole family out there, the kids and everybody. Like, what is that?
But if they really, really, really homeless, where they gonna leave the kids?
So you think motherfuckers is out there doing that homeless? I don't believe that.
Some of them be. Now, some of them be. But I think a lot of them be, that's just they hustle.
Oh no, that's funny because when we drive, me and my son, when we go down, this is bridge down there in DC. When you go under the bridge, it's this old lady sleeping always living under the bridge. Everybody in DC know about this lady. On right on the Kenilworth Bridge. When you about to hit Kenilworth or DC, it's a bridge right there, like going to the motherfucking police station.
I know what you're talking about.
But as a lady, she always sleep down that joint. So one time I was driving past that joint, and my son was like, "Why the lady always out there?" He was like 8. He was like, "Why the lady always out there?" I explained to him, "You don't work, you eat." Shit was that, yeah. But I think that lady right there had a mental issue. That's another thing I don't like is when people be out there like that. Police, you can't tell me police don't drive past. Police don't know that person there. And the fact that you drive past that person all the time and don't make sure that person is somewhere that I can keep driving past for a year and see that same person under the same bridge, and you gonna act like you police officers did not drive past and see the same person 16, 17 times a day? Like, that's the only thing I don't like, bro. Like, come on now. How you as a police officer can drive past a person sleeping in a blanket under the bridge? How the fuck can you do that?
Because half of them got motherfucking orders from their fucking superiors that don't even fuck with them. Just leave them alone. So they just ride past them. They ain't doing shit. They ain't stumbling down the street all drunk the fuck up. They don't really fuck with them. So
one thing about this, it's like most states got a homeless problem. And it's easy to fuck around being in a homeless situation because the way rent is going up. That's why you have most like Spanish people and Mexicans, Africans living 13, 15 deep in one house with 16 cars out front. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? But that's survival. And you know what I'm saying? Once you get here, and some of this rent high as shit. DC, New York, LA, rent high as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like you could just float around out this bitch, lose your job, or get a dumb fuck president in here, lose your job, and think everything gonna be peaches and cream after that. You're gonna fuck around and leave wherever the fuck you at for sure. And you're gonna be going somewhere where you always wanted to leave. Now you're back. You're gonna see Pops on the corner like, "Hey, I thought you was gone. You in the cars and everything, did Pops out there with the motherfucking EJ model. God damn it, I thought your father told me you was gone to college. Where you live right in there? God damn, you back. You broke too? God damn, you wanna know what's some weed at too? God damn. I thought you was successful. You back here with me, goddamn. Fuck around with you. I don't know, yeah. Life funny as shit, by the way. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's so easy to be homeless. So don't act like you're a motherfucker. That's why I say when motherfucking Trump do this bullshit with the cut this, cut that, that's because he got everybody in his cabinet and everybody work around, a million and billionaires. They don't give a fuck about none of these things we discussing. Like Medicaid, Social Security. What is that to them? They don't give a fuck. And their parents and them leaking off it, but they still don't give a fuck about it. It's just nothing that register in their mind. You know what I'm saying? Social Security is like what? $20,000 a fucking year, some shit. They shit that out.
Yep.
So it's irrelevant to them, girl. But to an elderly person and her family, I'm talking about you, niecey, little nephew, that be using some Social Security money, wait for the Social Security money to come, so you can either get you some weed or shine, you get you some new tires. Come on, bro. Don't play games with this shit. That Social Security hit the grandma's bank account, it'll hit everybody's household. It'll hit the household for everybody. So don't play dumb. So to me, we pass people who elect people, because y'all done elected a fool. Y'all knew he's a trillionaire. Y'all knew his friends was trillionaires. You knew they didn't give a fuck. So y'all did that anyway. So that's irrelevant to this point. We have to live with your decision, though. See, that's the thing I always want to just point out, because we're going to be on here like me and my man, we're gonna be on it as long as ever the future holds for us, and whatever it is the future for this joint, right? We're gonna be here. Most motherfuckers only here for a hot second here or there when the moment is hot. But when the shit get tough, motherfuckers gone disappearing or flipping to the other side.
Something like that.
So that's what you get here. Politics is different from the streets, right? Politics, motherfuckers flip-flop and run around all over the place and change their mind. You can't do that in the streets, bro. You got to stand on something. Or you be getting the shit slapped out you every day. So the politicians are easy getting motherfuckers say this today, then tomorrow change it up and don't get no consequences. But one thing I do like motherfucking about Republican motherfucking voters, right? Which is what is different from Democratic voters. I'm talking about the voters, not the candidates, not Kamala, none of that right now. The actual voters that are there every time, even Kamala is not there. The voters themselves. Do you think the voters, not the ones that voted for Trump, the ones in the Democratic Party, do you think the voters, you, me, just the average motherfuckers out there listen to everybody and then go vote, do you think they hold any responsibility for not guiding the party the way it should be guided to? Just the voters.
Yeah. Because look, whether people want to realize it or not, or understand it or not, the voters have all the power. Because you can vote a motherfucker in and you can vote a motherfucker out. Even if you don't like the motherfucker while you're in there, you can raise enough hell to get enough a person off. It is such thing as a recall election. You can get a motherfucker out. There's ways to get people out. And the most simplest way is, okay, look, Congress people, House of Representatives, House members are there for 2 years. That's their whole term. It's 2 years. So if you got a motherfucker that done been in there in Congress for 20, 30 years and he ain't doing shit, that's the voters' fault. Take your ass out there and vote a motherfucker in that's gonna do something. That motherfucker ain't doing nothing. Vote that son of a bitch out.
No, not just that. It's just more of policies and what they saying out their mouths on TV. Like, man, you disagree on some of the shit they say out their mouths. Like when they say, "Oh, both people," well, that type of shit. When they do the both people thing, Republicans don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like some of the things they do and say need pushback from the voters. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
so.
That's the same thing I'm getting at. Look, if you a voter, even if you voted for a motherfucker, you don't vote for a certain person, and you don't like what's going on, you can show up at their office. You can flood if they can do something you don't agree with, you can flood their office with phone calls. Hey man, what the fuck you doing? You can show up at these town hall meetings. Man, what the hell are you doing? Just like the Republicans are doing right now. They're saying they're going to these town hall meetings and say, hey man, what the fuck you gonna do about Elon? Half of them say, we ain't nothing we can do about Elon is this, that, and the third, and the people not having it. Okay, we'll see you at the ballot box. That's how you take care of them. That's the First Amendment. You have the right to protest. If your representatives is not representing you right, and they out there doing shit, and they out there that lied to you, they told you they was gonna do this, that, and the third, and then they got in the office and like Trump said, we gonna do this, that, and the third, and this guy in there did some wild shit. You have every right to protest. You got every right to march on City Hall. You can march on the White House if you want to. No matter what the fuck they say. You can do this. You can make noise, and you can determine. The voters determine the platform. Because if you stand up, look, you got two parties right now. You got Democrat and Republican. Those are the two major parties. But you also have Green Party, you have independent parties, you have all of this other, you have other shit out there. You can best believe that if enough people with enough people and pull behind them say, hold up, I ain't feeling what you're doing. I tell you what, oh, you're not going to do nothing about this, that, and the third, but I tell you what, it's a candidate that's over there promising to take care of exactly what we're asking you to take care of. You know what? That's where my vote going. When motherfuckers get shaky and think they're going to lose their job and lose that pull and lose that power, they're going to do something. Whether voters want to actually act like they know it or not, the power is in your hand because you determine. If you don't like what if a motherfucker get out there and say, I want to slash Medicaid, I ain't happy. You get your ass up out of there. You can best believe they coming back next week. But I changed my mind on Medicare. And I don't want to slash it, I want to strengthen it. And they gonna come with some shit like that. So yeah, the voters, the people who vote, the people, and especially the people who don't vote, the people who out here who didn't vote and running their fucking mouth, you still have power too. Take your ass to the poll and vote. Just like 75 million did for this orange asshole on November 5th. That's all.
Now Chuck Grassley had a motherfucker town hall. And some of this is what I'm talking about. Let them hear a little bit of.
I'd like to ask about any reduction in SNAP benefits that are going to be attached to the Farm Bill. I've heard there's been talk about them going back to pre-pandemic levels. I'd also like to know if you're planning on protecting the expansion of Medicaid benefits for Iowans under the ACA, the vouchers.
If your answer is that possible that could happen, the answer is yes, because it's one of the things that's listed on the agenda as a possibility of saving money, but there's no certainty at this point that that's what's going to happen, and it's going to be part of the Farm Bill, and we haven't even started on the Farm Bill yet.
I think she was asking if you are going to stand up for it.
Are you going to support the cuts to the SNAP?
Would you consider having for able?
Right there is them asking him, do he support cutting SNAP? It's real simple. I get it. At this point, these people are too fucking old, bro. He's not even grasping, really catching what's happening here, what's they even saying. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why I don't have no problem with people being old and being in the Senate and Congress, but it gotta be an age limit somewhere.
Body people having work requirements.
Sir, I work at a grocery store.
I'd like to. I'm asking
people.
Would you give me your opinion on a question I have that'd be important for me to hear your opinion? Would you consider a work requirement for able-bodied people 30 to 59 years old to be, and that would save money? Would you consider that?
No, that sounds like waste, fraud, and abuse.
No. Okay, well.
Sounds like waste for sure.
I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, now, hold on. It's a lot right there. First of all, he asked her 2 questions. No. After the question, he wanted to ask her, okay, so what's the solution type? That's the way he wanted to ask her, right? So what if I do this? And she responded by saying, no, that's wasted and abuse right there. So when he say, will we put work requirements on people? What does that sound like to you? What is that? What are you trying to do there?
They're trying to come up with some bullshit. That's what he's trying to do. What do we put? Would you be satisfied if we basically he's trying to find out what they would be satisfied with if he's asking them, what if we put work requirements on the people who get SNAP benefits?
Which is what Republicans are proposing.
Okay.
He said 30 to 50.
Look.
Wait, what?
Straight.
30 to 50 on snaps? You can't even snaps.
They don't tell
That's
y'all that half the people that get SNAP, that most of the people that get SNAP benefits, especially the ones that just get it for themselves. When I came home, I applied for SNAP benefits. I applied for all of that shit when I came home because what the fuck? I've been down for a minute. I don't have it. It's dead. Fuck it. I've been paying taxes. I've been working like a motherfucker paying taxes. That's a safety net to take advantage for me to take advantage of in a time when I'm fucked up. So just for one person, you might get like $200 and some worth of food stamps a month. It's SNAP benefits. That's what for one person. That's not shit for a person to eat the whole month. So for a person, then you put, so if you only give them some money, and a lot of people, and in some states, it's even less than that. They get like $100 and some a month. And you know that once you put work requirements on people, okay, when you make when you make so much, your benefits go down. So basically they say, well, fuck it, you know, you good to go. You can cut that shit out altogether. But how the fuck you gonna put work requirements on a motherfucker that don't eat? You good to go. That can't eat. And a family, they trying to find a way to make it like motherfuckers is living large off of this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Motherfuckers is not living large off of this shit.
What his point?
You gotta be below poverty. You got to be in poverty to get the shit.
His point is he thinking people laying up just getting the joint, right? When it's not that easy. You can't just apply food stamp and then that's it, just lay there and play with your balls all day.
You can't.
It's just not that simple.
You can't.
So I want to understand the thought process when you have senators and Congress people like that, they're thinking, all right, what about the people out there? Will we put work requirements? What the fuck? It's already work requirements, really. If you're working too much, you can't get it.
Look.
Like it's really, it's at the point if you getting that, it's because you're below the poverty level. Like, what are we doing? If you was working, you can work and get it, but you're not getting as much. It's gonna go by your income. Simple as that.
A lot of people get food stamps, and it's easier to get food stamps. That's why I call it supplemental nutrition. Supplemental. That's the word in there. You know why? When you supplement something, you're helping it out. You're building it. You're helping to build it up. A person needs help. It is some people out here, and there's a lot of people out here that once you pay for a roof over your head, you pay your bills, you have to put clothes on your back, and then you still don't have nothing to eat. You done did all of this and you still ain't ate.
No, because
that's why a lot of people can get it, because it's a lot of people out here going hungry, and you can't just go in and just get anything off of food stamps. So they playing a game with people.
But you gotta listen. Like in this town hall meeting, this is a Republican town hall, and a lady is asking him, "Is he gonna protect SNAP, Medicaid, and ACA?" And that is my big problem with the voters in the Democratic Party. All those things she named was shit that Democrats put in play. Republicans ain't put none of this into place. SNAP, Medicaid, or the ACA. That's all Democratic values and plans. But You have a Republican voter sitting there saying, hey, motherfucker, you gonna protect that? We haven't heard one Democrat voter jump up and ask a Democrat, are you letting them just take your SNAP and Medicaid, ACA? No, they want to go on some bullshit that's in the media. Democratic voters go on media shit more. The joint was good. Why you keep switching it back and forth?
Nah, you ain't hear that humming?
It's not coming out in the thing.
It's not coming out. All right. That shit coming in my motherfucking ears like a
But you,
I'm gonna bugging the shit out of me. Fucking ear be ringing like shit. But anyway, you don't hear that? But look, this is the problem. The problem with voters. You got to look what's going on around you. What goes on in Minnesota, or what they claim, with another motherfucker claim, is happening. You got to look what's going on around in you. It was in your face. And if a motherfucker, if you looking around and say, damn, man, there's a lot of people out here that's, you know, they working hard, but they still struggling. And stuff like that, like Medicaid and SNAP benefits and ACA and all that shit is there to help these people along. These people pay into, and a lot of this shit you pay, with all of it you pay into, because it's funded through taxpayer money. They act like motherfuckers ain't never worked. And they sit there and they put this shit up in your head. Yeah, you get it because you need it, but the other motherfuckers out there, they don't need it. And you know the other motherfuckers they talking about, people of color. They don't really need it. They just sitting on their ass. You know, you work hard for yours all your life, but they just sitting on their ass and got it. And they don't know people's situations and what's going on. But all they motherfucker want to do is basically demonize people. And you got people out there that fall for it. But you got to look what's going on right in your fucking face. If you can look what's going on right in your family, and you can say, damn, man, if it wasn't for this, that, and the third, you know, my mama wouldn't get her medicine, or my father might not eat, my kids might not eat, or whatever, if it wasn't there for this safety net. Because it's people that's what it's there for. And they ain't gonna give you, and look, they ain't gonna give you no more than they have to. They ain't like you just walk up in there and say, man, I need motherfucking $500 worth of food stamps a month just to make it. You ain't doing that. They going by your income, you got bills, they ask you all this shit. You got to list everything you do and everything you pay for. And then they'll go and look at it and say, damn, you only make this much? Yeah, you need a little extra help. And that's what it's there for. It's not there for motherfuckers to live large. And that's the shit that they do. They don't never want to tell the truth. And I said it before, or this exact thing on this podcast here. How can you expect a motherfucker that was born with a silver spoon in his mouth and lived high on the hog all his life? Trump's father gave him millions of dollars to get started. Just gave it to him to start his business. And he fucked that up. He gave him more. The normal person don't have that. And people like that come from money like that come from, I'm not talking about a little bit of money, that come from real money. People that come from real money. They don't know what it's like to struggle. They never struggle. Struggling is, oh shit, I wanted a BMW and this motherfucker I wanted a Porsche and this motherfucker bought me a BMW for my birthday. That's struggling to them. Struggling is for them is, oh shit, I didn't get my allowance on time. They don't know what it's like to go hungry. Trump ain't never went to bed hungry a day in his life. But you motherfuckers, most of you motherfuckers that looked around, that voted for him, look around at your family, look around at your kids, and how many nights you had to go to bed hungry just so your kids can have something to eat. and you had to get up and go to work the next day. How many you think Trump ever motherfucker been in the house and one day he just sitting in the house and the lights got cut off, the water got cut off, the gas got cut off? He ain't never been through that. You think he ever been through, you think anything he ever had been repossessed? Ain't nobody pulled up with a tow truck and repossessed his yacht. He ain't been through that. Elon ain't been through that. Most of the motherfuckers in his cabinet ain't been through that. So how do you expect for these people to empathize with where you've been and protect what you need to get by just to make it the next day? So if you expecting these people to feel for you, you fucking crazy. This is not going to happen. They don't know what it's like. They don't know what it's fucking like to have to wash your drawers out in the sink because you ain't got no washing machine in the house and you can't afford to go to the laundromat. Do people like Trump and Elon know what it's like to wear a pair of shoes to the motherfucking bottom, to the bottoms got holes in them? No. You think they ever grew up and this real old school shit? When you went out playing and you scuff your jeans, got a hole in your knee, and the knee in your jeans, and your mama done went there, and your mama done ironed the patch over them motherfuckers and sent your ass to school next day. Get the fuck out of here with the patch on them jeans, boy. That's some good goddamn jeans. No. They don't know. They don't know they don't know what it's like to damn, what we got to eat tonight? All we got in the house is oodles and noodles. And hot dogs. Have they grown up like that? No. Come on. And you put these type of people, you people that voted for them, and you people that didn't vote, and talking shit now, you allow people like this to be in office. So where Medicare don't mean shit to them. Because you know what? They can go to the emergency room right now. And you know what they'll do? They'll say, okay, fuck a copay, the bill for the doctor to do this, that, and the third is this, that, and the third. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna pull out a black card, swipe that. Know what you do? You got medical bills calling up, coming in the mail. You got motherfuckers calling you. You think you can put something on this? You think you can put something on this? They don't know. They ain't close to knowing. You got to understand that the next 3, 4, 5, 6 generations of their families, even after they're gone, will never know that. They will never know that in life. But you do, and guess what the motherfucker did? He just made it worse. So I guess y'all happy. The Mexicans is gone. I don't know what to tell them. They've been told this shit. I don't know what to tell them.
Our employers paid into it. Yeah. We paid into Medicare. Stop the use of the word entitlement. Yeah. That would be one step that if you just use the right language, this is not an entitlement. We're not getting this because we exist. We're getting it because of the faith we put in the country, the treasury, every legislator, that we would pay into our Social Security. We would have it when we retired. We paid into Medicare. All of our employers and self-employed people paid double. They paid the employer part. So farmers, anybody who did this. So stop the use of the word entitlement because it's insulting to all of us.
Earned benefit.
Every single person elected to Congress should stop the use of that word and insist that it not be used.
It's an earned.
Now, like I was saying, Republican voters stand in front of their folks and really not only be mad at what they do, tell them what they want. Tell them how they want. Now, the only problem with this whole thing is the shit that they telling them is Democratic. Instead of you voting for a Democrat, you voted for this pig you're talking to. You voted for all the bullshit you whining and crying about to him about. You voted for him, then he voted for the other shit. But you want to sit in front of him now and act like, why you doing this? Are you going to support that? You voted for all this fuckery. If you voted for a Democrat, none of this fuckery would be going on. Everything you just named, ACA, SNAP, Medicaid, would be expanded. It wouldn't even be touched. You wouldn't be crying right now. But you felt it was more important to vote for the orange neck demon fuck pig, Donald, jackass Trump. You felt it was more cool to do that. But now you want to get these old ass Congress motherfuckers in there that did what you wanted them to do because you was sucking the orange neck demon fuck dick. He had no other choice because he wanted to feel like I'm going to keep my seat. So I'm going to do whatever y'all say. Now that he did it, now y'all going to bring these bitch ass niggas in here and going to ask them questions like they dummies. Now he going to sit there and look at you like, oh, wait. Damn. Y'all voted for me to get rid of this stuff. Now you going to tell me, hey, that's an entitlement? Like, now they only want you to call it entitlements, let alone get rid of it. So you as a Republican is standing there looking at people that vote for Republicans, telling you to keep Democratic values in place. Meanwhile, Democrats can't keep their own values and their own voters in the same motherfucking path. But you got Republicans telling their voters, telling their motherfucking Congress people not to call Social Security entitlements. This nigga stood there in front of him and thought of another name for it. Earned benefits. Oh yeah, that works. What? Made him rethink shit. He's not gonna say it to Trump, but he rethought it and said, wait, what should I say then? Oh, that sounds better? Okay. That's what I'm talking about. That's the part that Democrat voters do not display. They're gonna let COG, well, this bitch name, and Bernie run around. They say, hey, I love y'all. You old, I love you. You young, and they just love them. They're not putting their feet to the fire. And these 30,000 people standing in the crowd and say, hey, when you gonna put up a bill, motherfucker? What the hell are you doing there? You've been in 50 years, you bitch. Sanders, we out here, we love you, but goddamn, nigga, that's what we just saw from the Republican voters. What the fuck are you doing? And don't call it that, you bitch. It's like they telling these niggas what to say, and what are you doing now? Like what? After you voted for him to do all this. That's the funny shit. And she had the nerve to say, well, don't touch my Social Security. Don't touch my SNAP. And you know what? The things in the farm bill is in the ACA. What's the ACA? Obamacare. So now you got Republicans defending Obamacare.
Okay, let me ask you.
In the Republican Party. And you mean to tell me a Democrat could not talk that white lady that believes in all of this shit that no Republican voted for? She voted for people that didn't vote for ACA, but she's sitting there crying about it.
Okay. Now my thing about that is this. This is their fault. All the people that's in these town hall meetings, which probably 99% of them are Republicans that's pissed off, that's arguing with Grassley and Marjorie Taylor Greene and all these old people. Democrats is not in there. All of this shit is coming from the people who are at fault for what we have now. This is their fault. This is not our fault. We sit there and told you this was going to happen. We voted the right way.
That's not it.
But hold on.
I'm talking about their tactics on their own party and compared to our voters. Not none of that.
At this point, who cares? On their side, who cares? Our thing is, we need to get our shit tight. We need to tighten our shit up on this side. We need to get everything. We need to get everything from messaging on down to the grassroots to get out here and knock on doors. We need to get our shit tight.
So if Grassley go on TV tomorrow and call it, don't call it entitlement anymore, he call it earned benefits from this point on. Is that a success or not for that voter?
What you mean? If tomorrow you say he called it earned entitlements or earned what?
Earned benefits. And not calling it entitlements no more.
He ain't call them the fucking one. They know what it is.
No, see.
But see, I'm not. Look, I'm like
it's messaging, bro.
I'm like this.
If you can make your motherfucking congressperson or senator change what's coming out their fucking mouth, these Republicans say entitlement all day. That's the part of their platform.
Right.
She sat there in 30 seconds, made a long time standing Republican change entitlements to a Democratic word. Benefits. Right there on the spot. My problem is why a Democrat out of all this time couldn't tell that white bitch that.
Because the white bitch
it's real simple.
Because if the white bitch wanted to listen to a Democrat, and if she was willing to listen to a Democrat and was willing to accept what the Democrat was telling her, she wouldn't have voted for the dumbass. Because everything she crying about, the Democrat told her, we are going to protect.
No. Listen to what I'm saying.
That's what she said.
Listen to what I'm saying. She whined about the ACA,
she whined about
SNAPs, Medicaid. Who voted those things in? Democrats, right?
Democrats put them there.
So that lady, by this point in time, should know who benefits her. She shouldn't even be a Republican. Now you see what I'm saying?
I'm with you on that. That's why.
So
what I'm saying.
If a Democrat was doing what they supposed to do, that lady wouldn't even be standing in that fucking room. She's a Democrat. Why the fuck she screaming ACA, Medicaid, and SNAP? That's a Democrat. So she shouldn't be in the room. So therefore, Congress people and senators running for office on the Democratic side has not swooped in people that's not even supposed to be Republican.
Okay, so let me say this then. When Trump was running around talking about getting rid of Obamacare, and she was like, no, we're not going to touch Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, which is Obamacare, which she explained it exactly what it was. With that woman jumped through hoop after hoop after hoop. When they said, and this was coming from the other side, it might have came from some Democrats, but it wasn't coming from other side, all Democrats. It was coming from the other side. When she jumped out there and said, I want to do this, they said that's not a plan. What's your plan? What are you going to pay? How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to do it? How are you going to do this? And she sit there and explained it way more than he explained it, or anybody. She explained it more than the last two Democratic candidates put together. She explained it. She broke it down. And she got on this show and broke it down. She got on that podcast and broke it down. She got on this. She put out videos. She did all of this and broke it down. And you know what? It was out there. It was all over the news. She did all of these motherfucker national interviews with national reporters where they asked her these questions and she explained it. The first time she explained it and she told them what her plan was, they wanted specifics. If the plan wasn't good enough, they wanted specifics. When she came back and gave specifics, that wasn't good enough. When she did this, she jumped through hoop after hoop. Her and her surrogates.
No.
Her and her surrogates did the same thing. They did not listen. They didn't want to listen to her.
No.
And they voted for him.
No.
They was told.
No, it wasn't. They couldn't have been.
They was told. They made a choice.
The lady sat there in that Republican town hall and told a Republican to defend the ACA, Medicaid. This is a Republican voter. And SNAP. Ask this fool, are you going to defend it? And what I'm telling you is, if a Democrat could not tell that person, you can't say Kamala ran for 60 days at the most. Things she named was already in place. ACA been here. Medicaid been here. SNAP been here. So that's what I mean. Democratic Party itself is not, their voters are not connected to the people running. They're not forcing them to do the right thing. They're not forcing them. They're not in these town halls telling Democrats which way to go. They letting them dictate it. Like you can see now with the AOC and the Bernie Sanders thing. The Democratic Party lays flat and let people dictate it. Republican Party voters dictate what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, Democrats are flat.
Well, I mean,
voters are not dictating it. You have AOC over here, and I guarantee you, half the people ain't gonna like them. Then you're gonna have Kamala come out, or Biden say something, or Hillary. They're gonna be on this side. It's gonna be a split joint. That's what I mean. Democrat voters don't make sure everybody on the same page. That lady made it clear what she loved. She's not even a fucking Democrat, and everything she loves is Democratic policies. Why is she not a Democrat? Because of Democrats that have been running haven't relayed this to her. She said ACA. She didn't say Obamacare.
Yeah.
That's one thing right there. Now you see?
But we've been went over that because Trump was he's been successful in convincing his supporters or his people that Obamacare.
These are Democratic policies.
And I understand that.
That's it.
But they know, look, they know where it came from.
Obviously, no.
They know where it came from.
That lady is sitting there, probably don't have no idea who put it there. But she wanted this Republican that she voted for to make sure it stays there.
Okay.
She don't know. She probably don't even know Obama the one that put that there, and no Republican voted for it. None.
I don't want to call a woman a fucking liar, but I think these motherfuckers get out there, they don't tell the whole motherfucking story, because she know goddamn well, if she a Trump supporter, she know goddamn well that the ACA, as she called it, was there before Trump. She know that. She know it was there before 2016. Because she probably had it. And she's an older lady too. She ain't just getting no motherfucking ACA.
Exactly.
She got that motherfucker. She got that shit when it first came out.
Why vote for Trump after that?
Like I said, she's not
Man,
listening.
you with me now. That's what I mean by the voters are not pushing the envelope on the Democratic side. Now you feel me?
Hold up, bro. We done went through this 100 motherfucking times. Kamala, Biden, and everybody else. Even Biden, they've been out there. They've been on TV. They've been in ads everywhere. They want to take your Medicare. They want to take your Social Security. They want to privatize Social Security. They want to get rid of Obamacare. And they don't even have a plan. They even heard that because this shit was in the debate when the motherfucker said when they asked this asshole in the debate. When they say, do you have a plan? If you repeal Obamacare or the ACA, do you have a plan? And this dumbass said, no, I ain't a plan. I got concepts of a plan. How the fuck if you got something and evidently it's working for, because they trying to say, that's one of their big things. Oh, it's not working. Obamacare is not working. Evidently, if she's out there, look.
No,
I need my shit. It's working. It's not. It's evidently is working.
No.
So if she fell into a trap on some other shit. That's just me.
No, for example, I'm talking about voters. For example, let's say she was in a town hall, Kamala.
Okay.
If the voter would have got up and said, Kamala, won't you be straight with people and tell them how you really feel about transgenders so they can stop all this on the internet? That is what that motherfucker just did to do. Are you going to stop them from fucking with the ACA? That's what I want. And she would have had to answer that straight. Now you see what I'm saying? How the voters don't guide the party the way it should go. Republican voters, they got it.
Voters got to need to make it heard.
The Republican voters guide their party. Democrats do not. They sit in awe of their party. They wait for people to guide them. That's the difference. They wait for Bernie Sanders to have some fucking crowd or some shit. They wait for AOC to go out there and some bullshit. Or somebody to come out the woodwork like Obama. Republicans have town hall meetings and tell their motherfuckers what they want and what they need to be saying out their fucking mouth. Like they should have did come. How you really feel about Mexicans coming on the border? I'm tired of this internet shit. How you tell me out your mouth. Like that. A Democrat voter getting up and putting her feet to the fire. Set him straight. That type shit. Like she just did him. And made him reverse and say, you know what? You're right. I'm going to call it earned benefits. That goes against everything Republicans have been saying. Entitlements. Now you see what I'm saying? How she just guided him. That's what I'm talking about. And you'll never see that in the Democratic voters holding their people to the fire like that. That's what I'm talking about. That's a difference in our parties.
Yeah, it's a big damn difference. But if the voters don't realize and take a hold and use the power that they really have, then you're gonna keep having situations like this where you get a Trump. Because we shouldn't have had a Trump. We even should have had a Bush if motherfuckers had listened to to really listen to what Democrats was telling them. Or if you wasn't clear on something, that's what town halls and shit is for. That's what writing letters and making phone calls or whatever the fuck you feel as though you can do. That's what that is for. The people, look, y'all out there got to understand that I don't give a fuck if he the president or not. I don't give a fuck if he the mayor, he the governor, he a congressman, he a senator. I don't give a fuck if he the dog catcher. These people in these elective offices work for us. They work for the people. They work for the taxpayers. They work for us. They are our representatives. They represent what we, the people who voted them in, they supposed to represent our interests, not their own, not some motherfucker from South Africa that is want to get rich off the government. They are supposed to represent the people. And if you allow them to get away with it, they're going to keep on getting away with it on both sides. If you are not clear on something, and you say, "Oh man, this motherfucker having a town hall. You know what? I'm gonna show the fuck up tonight, and I'm gonna ask this motherfucker point blank. Hey, Chuck Schumer, what is you doing? What is you doing about our saving our Affordable Care Act? If you're not clear on it, that is your right to do that. Go down that motherfucker and tell motherfucker, what the fuck is you doing? This ain't what I voted for. You even gonna motherfucker get this shit straight. And believe me, when the people rise up and you got, and I always say this, a voting block. When you got enough people that behind you that can sway an election, and it's not hard to do because every election except president is voted on by local people. You can get enough people to sway an election in a lot of these towns, in a lot of these cities, especially in off year, you can get a motherfucking 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people and signatures, and you can make a motherfucker do something. It's not that hard. I mean, the work got to be done, but it's not that hard. But if you just keep on letting shit slide and just want to complain about it when it's all over, we should not have had Trump the first. We shouldn't have had the second Bush the son's administration. We shouldn't have had the first Trump administration. Come on, if a motherfucker, if you coming off a president that lowered the deficit and eliminated the deficit and left us in a surplus, and this motherfucker came along and made it, I'm talking about Bush, made it clear that money that paid down the deficit and paid off the deficit and led to a surplus, that wasn't money that came off of tariffs or no shit like that. That was money that came from the taxpayers. He used taxpayer money to do that. And then the next motherfucker come in and say, okay, the taxpayers, middle class taxpayers, their money paid off this debt. Let's put something back into the public, the system, and do something that's going to benefit the people who got us into this good situation. They didn't do that. They came straight up in that motherfucking tax breaks for the rich. Rich ain't doing a motherfucking thing for you. Okay, Bush did that, fucked it up, paid for a couple of wars off of Get Back. Okay, Saddam Hussein tried to kill his father. But what he didn't tell you is that after Saddam Hussein tried to kill his father, Bill Clinton dropped the bomb on his ass. Bill Clinton had already got Get Back on that. So he came in and wanted war Get Back, got us into 2 wars, all that motherfucking money they fucked up. Okay, Obama came in there, straightened all that out, and gave you Obamacare. But you let a motherfucker come in and after him, okay, it was on the backs of the middle class and the public that we was able to straighten all of this shit out. Tax breaks for the rich again. Fucked it all up. And y'all keep going through the same cycle again and again and again. And then when the shit goes south, y'all act like a motherfucker told y'all some shit that y'all didn't know. Y'all knew. Y'all knew. But now it bit you in the ass and you can't come out. You don't want to come out and just say, basically what the whole situation is, damn, I really wish I didn't vote for this motherfucker. Because now he fucking up all my shit. And y'all, all y'all got the same excuse. But I didn't expect him to do this. I didn't expect him to do this. He told you. He told you. If he said, I'm going to motherfucking get rid of Obamacare, or I'm getting rid of, and I'm gonna get rid of Medicare and Medicaid and all that old shit. But you didn't think because you thought that the Affordable Care Act was a separate entity, you thought he wasn't going to fuck with that, and you didn't take the time to go online and find out what was what, or you didn't ask somebody else or what was what, or at one of these town hall meetings when this motherfucker was, at one of his rallies when he was telling motherfuckers to throw their ass out of there, kick the shit out of them, this, that, and the third, Pocahontas this, bitch that son of a bitch this, and he was doing all of this old wild shit, and y'all was jumping up and down and all of this shit, yeah, get him out of here. We're going to have the greatest mass deportation you ever seen in your life. We're going to build a big, beautiful wall. And you didn't get a mic and stand up and put your hands and say, I got something to say. What are you going to do about this and get it on record? That's your fault. And you went out there and voted for this motherfucker anyway. When you had Biden at first and you had Kamala second, because they was right in line. They might have had different policies on stuff like when she brought up price gouging and stuff like that. That was her thing. That was putting her own stamp on her own campaign. But as far as entitlements and or earned benefits, whatever you want to call them, go, her and Joe Biden was in lockstep. They was in lockstep with every Democrat out there. You knew where they stood at. And if you didn't know, you were supposed to go to your fucking representatives in Congress and the Senate. You didn't do that. But you wanted to go out there because, one, he's going to get rid of the Mexicans, he's going to get rid of the Latinos, and he's going to put them niggas in check. That's why you voted for that motherfucker. And in the end, you knew, you didn't think that if he was going to take all of that shit from us, he had to take it from you too. That was your fucking problem. You thought they was going to take it from the niggas and the niggas and the wetbacks. That's what you thought. That's what you thought. You thought he's not going to do this shit to me. This not going to happen to me. That's why all of y'all are crying. Oh, we didn't think he was going to do that. No, you didn't think he was going to do it to you. But to get to us, just like we told the Latinos. And I know I said it out of my mouth on this podcast 100 times. Y'all are not the goal. We are the goal. They can put y'all out. We are the goal. The goal is to get is to take everything they can for black people and send us back to Jim Crow. It's to erase everything that a black person did in this country. It was said between me and this man right here on this podcast. Don't say, and it was said other places. Roland Martin said it. Karen Hunter said it. Don Lemon said it. Reese Colbert said it. What's our girl on CNN? She said it. Joy Reid said it. Everybody said it. That's bullshit. But y'all chose to only listen to Fox News. And that's why you got what you got. Because if Fox News told you like it was, you wouldn't have voted for his ass. Y'all chose to listen to a bunch of people that lied to y'all. Y'all believed the lies because you know what? They're going to get rid of those Mexicans. They're going to put them niggas in check, and they're going to make America great again. They're going to send us back to a time when we didn't have to deal with them motherfuckers. That's what it is. And you didn't realize that if they was going to take it from us, they had to take it from you too. And that's why you crying. That's why you crying. That's why I have no sympathy for you. Because you was told. You didn't want to listen? Fuck you.
Appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Tuesday and Fridays live.
Yep.
But for sure. And we pops in on any other night when you ain't expect it. You know what I'm saying, dog? But we do appreciate everybody to take time out, like, subscribe, follow us, help us grow, share this shit. Whatever y'all do to grow our podcast, help us out. You know what I'm saying, dog?
Right on.
You got something to say, guy?
See y'all tomorrow. We come back and talk to y'all some more. But y'all think about that shit. Y'all knew y'all don't want to jump out there and admit it. But it was more than just issues in this campaign that y'all voted on. Because if you could sit around, because look, most of y'all watched that debate. Most of y'all watched both debates, the Biden debate and the Kamala debate with Trump. And the things that y'all crying about, those was explained in acts in those debates what you was going to do. And I know for one, you can go back and look at that debate with Kamala. And she said it straight to his face what she was going to do about everything y'all crying about. And she said it right to his face what he was going to do, and he did it. So if y'all going to sit there and say that nobody told y'all didn't understand this, y'all didn't want to understand. Most of y'all didn't want a black woman or a woman period, and a black woman in particular, to lead this country. Now you got an orange jackass leading this country, and hey, you got to deal with it because it's gonna hurt y'all more than it hurt us. Yeah, we're gonna hurt because we got to deal with it too. But we already knew. We was prepared for it. Y'all wasn't prepared for this shit. Y'all got fucked. He fucked y'all with no grease. Hope you happy.
Black and proud. Never too late for the black.
Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV, you know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood. We the hood people.